My account is online. Oh, I see. Descendants.
So you shove it in your bag, and then whenever you go on a walk, you know, wherever you find it, exactly, you know.
There are kind of pools, it looks like sand dunes. All these are underground tombs. The entrance here was covered with sand, and through a hole in the ceiling, this tomb was discovered in 1895. In the 30s it was excavated by the Danish. So the foundation stone you can see down there, and on the way out I'll tell you about it. Yes, they were shorter than us.
Okay, now we move to the computer.
Please, over here.
Have you heard about Achilles? There we see some women here and there, that woman with the child. See different or several women very
Brandished the shield and the sword. You see the red circle, that is the shield of Achilles. He joined the Trojan War and then he was killed here. Why does he think mythology is here? What does that mean? In fact, it's very simple. Because this hero is a symbol of eternal soul. Achilles in this scene represents the soul of the human being which lives on earth. Three sarcophagi of the three brothers. So the three brothers are buried here. Each sarcophagus is covered by a family scene. The father, the grandfather, mother, children, brothers and sisters. So they are here together, not to feel loneliness, being a family in eternal meeting. You see here the Etruscan influence. In the Etruscan tombs, such family scenes were found. You see the clothes, the style of clothes here. This is very local, very oriental. It looks Greco-Roman. But remember those small statues in the Museum of Damascus where men are dressed in this long dress with the cap over it. You see they hold something to drink. And
oh no, I'll give it back on the guys' call.
You buy a book?
Yes. Temple. This is Baal temple. You see all this area, all this enclosure is one temple. The biggest in Palmyra, also in Syria, 210 by 205. On the 6th of April, people gather around here in the courtyard. Religious men enter to the holy place, the sanctuary over there, where they carry the statue of Baal on a camel in a pavilion. They bring the camel outside and then they start the procession. They go around the holy place 7 times. After the procession, they sacrifice the animals. You see that that group, those people, they are in the altar. Out of the altar, there is a channel. You see this channel draining blood and water. And on the other side, there is a special entrance. This is where they bring the animals in. So they make the procession first, then they sacrifice the animals, and after that there will be kind of a barbecue. We have a dining room. Also, it's next to those people where they held banquets at religious occasions. And what was really interesting, that for these banquets they made invitation cards like the coin, made of metal or pottery, different shapes, round, square, rectangular, triangle. On the first side you see an image of a god. On the other side, name of the donor and date of the banquet. So only those who are invited, no party crashers. And in fact, in the middle of the wall, there is a lower step. That was the entrance to the dining room, where everybody shows his invitation card. The temple here has a square shape, with the holy place in the middle raised on a podium, like Mesopotamian temples, like the ziggurat. And even those decoration at the back, at the top, they are called merlons. They look like the ziggurat. Around the holy place, you see remains of columns, peristyle, like the acropole. So the holy place, rectangular with the peristyle, it's Greco-Roman. But here the temple in general has a square shape, a holy place in the middle. Around the holy place there is an open courtyard, and this courtyard is surrounded by corridors. Before the earthquake there were columns all around. The columns with the walls making roofed corridors. So originally this part here was covered, and the level of the roof was at the very top, over the level of this elegant, superb Corinthian capitals. Next to the columns, this is what you can see later on. Next to these high columns, there's the short column, which is remains of a spiral staircase, a staircase leading up to the roof. So, did you start to build an image how this temple looked like? Yeah. So columns all around from 4 sides, making roofed corridors. So there was a porch here. Outside, where people make the procession, it's an open area, and the holy place in the middle was covered. This is the Syrian temple. This is style of architecture, of temples architecture, is typically Syrian, of course, with cosmopolitan influences, but still the style is Syrian. You see Corinthian capitals, you see the holy place rectangular with the peristyle. The gate over there is Egyptian, like that in Luxor. Mesopotamian temples are higher than the ground floor around. So it's a mix of all culture. Remember what we saw in Palmyra, this bracket in the middle of the wall, where they put statues of wealthy people, donors, benefactors. Even here in the temple we have statues of ordinary people, and the sanctuary is restricted to the gods. Outside, when we walk in the colonnade, you will see that all these columns are decorated with these plinths or brackets, and also we'll see that there are inscriptions in bilingual telling us who are those people and what they have done to their city. Greek and Aramaic were international languages of that time. Aramaic was called the lingua franca of this area, and it was used till the coming of the Muslims, when Arabic replaced Aramaic, because it's the language of the Quran and the language of the new religion. When you look at the color of this stone, this is not the original color. This stone is limestone, white originally. Being exposed to the sun for 2,000 years, the color has changed to this beautiful golden color. So like, for example, the sanctuary over there is original, still standing. Being standing like this, the color has changed. This wall is original. So the color also has changed. The short wall from there, you see, from there all around, that is Saladin restoration, like this one. So the difference is here. Using round blocks, these are pieces of the column which fell down by the earthquake. And there are something else, the holes in the wall. These holes were filled with bronze, kind of metallic clumps, looking blocks together and absorbing shocks of earthquakes. When you see the holes and this color, you can say directly this is original. This is still standing ever since. The metal which was outside, it disappeared. But among the blocks of the walls and the columns, there are still pins, keys among the blocks, holding them tight to each other, and at the same time, they are very accurate. So, for example, let's say here, you see there is a hole, and over there, and you could see them later on. So this is not the right direction. You have to erect this. They put a piece of metal. The second block has the same hole, so they are joined together precisely. So when you look at the column here or the columns over there, they appear one piece, or as if they were one piece. So at that time, metal was used. Earlier, like in Mari, they put wooden sticks, wooden pieces among the mud brick blocks, also for more stability and to resist earthquake. And also in Malula, you remember in the convent, Sarkis church, wooden beams among the blocks, the stone blocks, also to resist earthquakes. Now we take our way to the holy place. We pass through the altar and the dining room. And in this temple, I'll show you later on, there's a romantic touch which you do not imagine to see here or in this temple.
Fine.
Okay, hopefully.
I don't want to get a copy and have to carry it.
But even for to read now,
This is the altar. So animals were sacrificed here by religious men. So you through the passage, they keep the animals. If you want to offer an animal, you go there, you buy the animal, bring it here, deliver it to the religious men. Religious men do the rituals, like getting to the holy place was restricting only to religious men. So before that, they dedicate they utter kind of dedication speech. This is for Baals and so on, so on. They slaughter the animal at the throat, drain all the blood out, then wash it with water. That's why the floor is slant here. Originally there was a channel, it's closed here. It was connected to that channel. Letting blood out, this process or this ritual is called libation, which is symbolically purification. It's symbolic that when the blood comes out, you get rid of your sin. Washing the blood, you are completely pure. And this is a way to approach the gods, to be closer to the gods. Also for them, blood was symbol of life. Sometimes they could keep drops of this blood. Nowadays in the Arab world, when during the Eid or when they sacrifice an animal, the one who pay for the animal, he put his he stamp his hand on the blood and make a stamp on the wall. Well, this is something I don't know. It's very stupid, but anyway, it means that he did that or he offered a sacrifice. This is, well, still kind of rituals that sometimes, not everywhere, are done. Outside this area, this paved area is the dining room. It's a small area with the bases of columns, and there was a small roof, like the restaurant, as big as the restaurant you had the meal yesterday, but here it has more sacred meaning or holy, being holy. Opposite the altar on the other side, exactly where those three people are, that is the sacred basin. Religious men start the rituals there by making ablution or cleansing. Like that, You remember in the convent of Takla in Malula, the holy water where people drink and wash their hands. Same with Muslims, before they pray they have to make purification. So once again, lots of rituals are in common among all religions. We'll speak about plumbing system and water canalizations later on in the site. But here you see there are some pieces of the pipeline which draw the water from the hills up to the temple, 12 kilometers. Later on in the colonnade we'll see it. It's almost complete in some places. Before we go to the holy place, I'll show you the romantic things that I told you about. Lid on the ground. You see it? It's a heart shape. Isn't it? Yes. It's romantic. You see the heart-shaped stone? That's the place of us.
I think it's on its side, is what it is.
But do you know what it was used for? By the way, there are other stones, they have the same shape. If we put them upon each other, we will have the corner column. One column at the corner, joining the corner, closing the corner. It looks as if they were two. But I think that the architect was in love at that time. You can see from here the main entrance of the temple. The one inside, original, the 1st century. And the wall outside is the facade of the fortification. Saladin wall. Like Hadrian wall in Britain. So the outer entrance and the inner entrance over there, you see they are symmetric on the same line. Like that in Egyptian temple. So this is almost the sacred bath. The portal is still standing. Looks like that in Luxor. It is original, but the bases have been restored by the French in 1930s because they were badly damaged, while still standing, still intact. When we get closer, you will see a very beautiful carving. This is the original ramp where we walk. You see floral carving, and even over there the soffit from underneath. So you see, for example, here you see olive, grapes. Do you know, can you recognize what's the flower next to the grapes? Poppy. Because it has a very beautiful red flower. And then eggs. Later on I'll tell you the story of the eggs. Over there, pine, corn, fig, grapes. All these are symbols of life and fertility. This is the temple of Baal, god of rain. Behind you there is a beautiful scene of the oasis. And the palm trees which we see alive, we also see them carved on the stones with a beautiful scene right here. Palm tree, you see Palmyra. See the palm with bunches of dates. So this is the tree that gave Palmyra its name. And you see it here, and you see it still around here. Originally these mountains were covered with trees. If you look on the top of that mountain, you see over there, you see there's a white building. You see the white building at the back on the top? It's a mausoleum. It didn't appear till 1920s. Before 1920s it was not, it was hidden. There were still trees. So this is how the eco changed around here, by cutting trees, by even killing animals, hunting animals. So a huge oasis with water sources running through, with trees. So it was like a paradise, and this is the meaning of the name, the beauty, the miracle. Otherwise you ask yourself why the city was built here in a place of nowhere.
Yeah.
When you look at the size of the blocks here and the size of the pillars or the panels, the beams, see this is monolithic, one piece, with a beautiful carving. we do the tour inside, and then we come out and we turn around this place, and then after that we have
Yes. I saw you recently in as a child. Study history.
the holy place. This is the sanctuary where they keep statues of the god. Here, in this great hall, one floor hall, you can see that there are two edicons, two inner shrines. The southern edicon over there, you see, stretches by steps. That is the place of Baal. This is a very Palmyra way of putting statues of the god, using kind of a room, kind of edicon. The place of the god is always high. Over there inside, there was an idol of Baal to be carried on the procession. Here also another edicon, but this is Palmyra. Right and left you see Greco-Roman niches. The Greek and the Romans put statues of gods on pedestals like that one, while the Palmyra, they have their own style, precisely in this temple. The whole monument like this, the whole edicon looks like that in Petra. And I think when you go to Jordan, you will see that. So many influences. If you approach here down, please, you can look at the ceiling, and with the help of the mirror, I'll show you some small, fine details. So the ceiling up there is one piece of stone. In the middle, there is a cupola. You see the cupola, like celestial dome. There are 7 gods. Baal in the middle at the top, the gods down, and this frieze is decorated by the zodiac. You see, this is the Capricorn. You see the fish tail. Sagittarius, you see the archer, the bow and the arch. Scorpion, Waterman or Aquarius, they are 12, representing 12 months of the year. But what does it mean altogether? Baal, the gods and the zodiac. So Baal is the supreme god of Palmyra, like Zeus and Jupiter. He was responsible for everything, gods, people, fortunes and destinies. That's why he's at the top and everything goes around in his orbit. Baal is here like an eagle. You see the body, the wings, the stars, like Osiris of Egypt. God of sun, god of moon. So Baal is Lord of heavens and earth, protecting gods and people. At the same time, he is a messenger to the skies. So Baal, a man, Baal looks like a bull, and an eagle. 3 manifestations. Eagle is symbol of supremacy. Over there also in the southern edicon, we will see beside the place of Baal, we will see remains of the 2 other religions. And right and left, you see there are very nice carvings, very beautiful carvings. You see remains of the church. That arch in the middle of the wall, that is the apsis. This is the east. Under the arch, there are inscriptions in Arabic. Next to the arch, there are more inscriptions. This inscription to the right, it is 2 lines of Sufist poetry. They were written around the 16th century. And the man who wrote this poem, he signed his name. He is my 14th great-grandfather. 500 years ago, one of my great-grandfathers, he wrote this on the wall of the temple here, because this was the mosque, and around here in the village people lived. So this is where I can trace my ancestors, back to 500 years.
And what's his name?
His name is Muhammad Shamsi. Shams, sun of the sun of the sky, the light of the religion. Sorry. So this is the meaning of it's kind of subtitle or surname, which is almost like describing the person. On the wall here also you see remains of frescoes Between the windows down, the Holy Spirit, Saint George, Saint Michel, and Bartos here, one of the first martyrs. You see also the mihrab of the mosque here. You see this small arch inside the adyton, facing south, facing Mecca. The ceiling here is a masterpiece of art. It is one piece of stone, 4 by 4 meters and almost 1 meter thickness. The sun in the middle and the stars all around. And you see the labyrinth, which is a symbol of eternal life, no beginning, no end. The first design of the labyrinth was found in Iraq, drawn on a pottery dish from the period of Ubayd in Iraq, from the Romanian East. Then the same style was known in the East, Chinese, Indian, and then it was known by the Greek. Now it is called the Greek key, while originally it is there in Iraq from that time. The black color is made by burning incense, while the original, this is marble, limestone. So part of the daily ritual is here, burning incense, purifying the place, giving nice smell, giving a mystic atmosphere that the God is hidden there. Wood and Dawkins, they copied this piece of art, and in their book, which was published in London, the ruins of Palmyra, they have this drawing. That's why this style of decoration was very popular in Britain, to decorate ceilings of houses and palaces in the 18th and the 19th century. Some houses in London still have this design. One of them is called Osterley Park House. So this is where the origin came from. Through the windows you can see some columns of the peristyle. At the back we still have 8 columns, they are still standing. We'll turn around now to see them, they look very elegant. And here fortunately we have 2 pieces left of the metal, 2 flammes that still is gold. This is the first piece here. And this is the second. You see one here, another one here. It's bronze in a lead mold. See, this is bronze, this is lead. Lead is soft elastic, so it absorbs the shocks. So this is how they join the stones, the columns, the walls, among the blocks and outside. A staircase inside, it's spiral. You can see it later on, or now if you like. A spiral staircase leading up to the roof. Originally there was a wooden roof over there. So we still have almost 10 minutes explanation about the carving outside, and then you will have. You remember the columns at the back? They were all around here. This relief, this architrave was up, connecting the column to the wall. Columns all around, architraves to carry the wooden roof over the holy place. Here you see a man, and this man is a god. How do you know that he is a god? From the halo or aura, like saints. This is god of moon, characterized by the lunar crescent. Baal the eagle, god of sun. 2 religious men here. They offer sacrificial animal to the gods. Fruits on ablation altars, like the Buddhists, like the Egyptians. You see pomegranate, pineapple, apple, pine core. This is pine tree producing this tree of life. This tree remains green all the year round, so it's symbol of life, kind of fertility and immortality. Something like Christmas tree, the same emblem, which is evergreen or continuity. When this stone was up there, you can see it from 3 sides. Here, back, and the most beautiful scene is down here underneath. It's very wet. Please try to see it. You can do it here, and also if it is crowded here, we go around to the other side. It's well quiet. Please. Over here. So religious men are here. Look around here. Another style of Greek capitals, another classical capital, two Ionic capitals over there. You see they look like scrolls, like ram's horn. This is something very similar to the capital of the deer in Persia. In Iran, they have the capital of the deer, the head of the deer with the scroll or horns and some decoration. This is very similar but without the head of the deer. So we saw currently these columns here, they are original, still standing. The height of the column is 18 meters. I think now we can have a better image. You can visualize the temple in a way or another. So when you see these columns, you will imagine that columns of the like style, they were around here. You feel that you are in Athens in the Acropole. Outside, as you see all around, an open courtyard, and at the back, columns making corridors, porches, shade, social activities all around. So this is the Syrian temple. The capitals there are blank because they were decorated with gilded bronze Corinthian capitals. That's why they were looted. And at the very top, you see there's a stone jutting out. It's a broken architrave. It should continue to the wall. So that's why when it is there, you can see it from underneath. You can read date of restoration by the French, 38. On the atop every column, maybe from here you can see there's a slot where this architrave fit in, connecting the column. It goes crosswise from the column to the wall, and on the very top we have the wooden roof. At the corner, or before I tell you about the corner, outside down there are excavations showing remains of two older temples under here. So during excavations, two temples have been unearthed. In the first stratum, bases of a temple from the 4th century BC. Then they go down, they dig more than 10 meters underneath. There at the very bottom, they found bases of the first temple, the oldest one. Of course, not impossible to see it now, but these bases with the pottery shards were studied. That temple goes back to the 20th century BC. At the same time, Palmyra was mentioned in Cappadocia in Turkey. Tadmur, I mean. So this is a very solid evidence. A temple here, a document outside the whole country. So urban life is very old here in this region. That house at the corner, of course it has been restored. A mud brick house. This is a sample of the village. All around here, even in this corridor around the mosque, there were houses. The French cleared the temple or cleared the temple of houses, and they left that house at the corner as a sample. It's the guest house of archaeologists now, and originally this was the house of my grandfathers. So this is where I belong to.
Very nice.
Any question?
So much to take in.
No problem, we'll meet again and you can ask. 15 to 20 minutes. meters. Right and left, there are shops. At this point, we see the monumental arch. It is called Arch of Triumph or Victory. This arch has a very unique shape. Please, if you come around here. And if you look at that corner over here, you see the arch. The arch here has a V letter shape, like triangle. You can see the head of the triangle there. It's a double arch. Originally, there were two arches. This one here, which is still standing, and over here there was another arch. Why the arch has this shape? Because the arch at this point is an architectural solution, hiding the change of the main avenue. So you come from the temple, you face this arch, you transit under the arch without realizing this defect. The same way when you come from there, from the west, and you transit under the arch. So it's kind of a visual trick. This is the original ground floor. It was like this, like earth, because this is more comfortable for camels. So Palmyra was an ideal camel caravanserai. In the desert, there were no Roman roads. The best means of transportation was on the top camel, and in second degree donkeys or mules. That's why the camel was called ship of the desert. We cross to the other side and you will see the beautiful carving over here. So you see the beautiful carving here. This is original. The arch is still standing. It appeared in the drawings of wood and Dawkins in the 18th century. The arch with this row of columns. There, you see that white arch. This is the French Restoration, 1931. Restored with new blocks. The French School of Restoration, that they make the difference very clear, so they do not imitate. There are three arches, main one in the middle, two smaller ones, because the colonnade itself has three corridors. The one in the middle was open to the skies, and corridors right and left, they were covered. And after a while, we'll see an evidence that there were roofs. There is a small temple, Nabu. Nabu is Babylonian god, Babylonian, Akkadian. Nabu is god of miracles and oracles. In Arabic, the word Nabi means the prophet. So, it means that all languages spoken over this area, they go back to the same source, to the same tree, let's say, branches of the same tree. This temple is smaller but has the same style of Baal temple, even it's contemporary. But here you can see another style of capitals. You see over there Doric, which are very simple. This is the oldest style by the Greeks from Doria. Then Ionic from Ionia. And the last style by the Greeks, which is the Corinthian, which was predominant during the Roman era. To your left, you can see shops entrances. You see them? There are shops entrances. If you look up here, you see the blue hole. It's a lion mouth. Over the column, right and left, there were channels. When it rains, rainwater comes down like garbage. So this is an evidence that the corridor here will cover. Our next stop will be in the back, so we'll have a shower after this. It's double blocks or double slabs, and the height of the wall was originally to the level of the columns. So walls and columns carrying the roof of the whole area. It's 50 meters by 80. It's a huge complex accommodating lots of people. You see this octagonal hall. This is the cold section where in the middle you see there is a kind of fountain. So this is where people come around here after they finish having massage. There are rooms at the other corner between two brackets. Swimming pools, bathing there. So they come around here to relax after they finish. There were stone benches where they relax. I don't know what kind of drinks they had. Coke, 7-Up, beer. Wine was there from the very beginning.
How much?
Years around here.
How much to كذا? How much?
Yes. It's
Okay, how much? Here cotton. Okay. My friend 700.
لا
7.
لا
Okay, this.
لا. I have no money. No money with me.
No pound, no pound.
No.
Dollar.
No.
Syria.
No. On bus.
on the
Yeah,
way.
later on bus. Yes.
Oh no.
So this is where they finish their bath. Now there's an opportunity for us
Okay.
maybe
500.
to have
To كذا.
No.
sun bath.
No. لا. شكرا.
So this is the lobby. You see this line here. This is the entrance and the stage looking out. You see holes for the locks. You get in. You pay entrance fees. You go to this room, a bodytarium, where you change your clothes, and then you enjoy your time inside. So we start with the col, which is usually the other way around, and then we go to the middle part or the warm section. Yes, there's the channel. Now, winter here is very cold. So in winter they heat the water. We'll see the oven later on. Hot water flows underneath through this channel, and these slits are deliberately made for the steam to come up in winter. So there will be kind of central heating. Nowadays in modern buildings they hot water tubes running under the ground. So a new style of heating which was popular in the past. A swimming pool here. Well, nice pool. How you feel?
I'm sure it was lower than
This is the steps. You see a huge,
Spray with a bit of water.
a huge swimming pool comparing to the size of pools at that time. The ground floor was originally clad with marble, which is Carrara from Italy. Unfortunately, it was, let's say, recycled, not stolen. Around here, you see peristyle to carry the roof. Usually the central part was domed, or at least there was a flat roof. I want you to imagine, please, that the pool is full with water and people there are jumping, swimming, relaxing, smoking, hubbly bubbly. So if you imagine, I think you enjoy it more. Thank you. Anyway, there's a trash after a while. So this is warm. It started there, cold, warm, and we still have the hot section inside. Please. From the very beginning, this was segregated, even during the Roman era, but in a very special section, there were something else. With red bricks, that is the oven area. So that is the place where they heat the water. Here, you see remains of original marble. The ground floor and the walls were clad with marble. This is a very small swimming pool, like jacuzzi. Inside, bricks and pipeline. Bricks here preserving hot water, hot close to the oven. Also original marble. Once again, this is Carrara. Another small swimming pool. So two small hot swimming pools, being small, being close to the oven. Bricks inside, preserving hot water. So this is hot. A little bit further, it is warm, and at the end, it is cold. So all this area here is the bath. If you look around here, you see the level of the ground floor where you stand, and the level of the sand, the level of the debris. In fact, from the colonnade, north on, south on, all the site is still unearthed yet. Only some spots have been excavated, the main highlights, while 60 to 70% is still under the ground. I think lots of secrets will be revealed, lots of treasures. It's better to be kept like this rather than being stolen. Now we go back to the colonnade, we walk around, we see those 4 towers, tetrapylon, the agora, the senate, and we finish the tour here in the city, in the theater, where your free time will be starting there, and after that we meet all together under the arch and the coach. So it's like Souk Hamidiya, like the labyrinth souk in a way or another. And this space here, the space between the columns and the shops, this corridor was covered. Outside it was open, and the third corridor where we have the shops also, they were covered. In some places there are funny touches, like this one here, camel horse parking, that one, and also here you will see it. Over this column, there was a statue of Antiochus Zenubion, the father of Queen Zenobia, who became a king after the fall of the city. It's run about, kind of crossroad, the center of the colonnade. Also, yes, it's crossroad at the end. This tree originally was at the back, with a pipeline filling this basin. It's called the Nymphium, or dedicated to the Nymphium, this water basin. There are 3 nymphia in the city, in the colonnade. The colonnade divided into 3 sections. In each one there is a Nymphium. It was here from the 1st century. The agora has an open courtyard, an open plaza, let's say, surrounded by columns or corridors all around. The main entrance is there from the south, another entrance here, and sub-entrances. In the 2nd century, by the increasing of the importance of Palmyra, by the coming of more caravans, the agora was enlarged, and it has an annex or store. We will have a look over it from the Senate.
I didn't understand it.
gate to the side. The main gate was called the South Gate. It will be later, we'll see it later. But they wanted to enlarge the city and make the city bigger, so they built this gate. It's a Roman style and it's been restored. Most of it you see is been restored in the last 6-7 years. A lot of restoration at Jerash, and for that it's not a World Heritage Site, unfortunately. But it's one of the best Roman cities in the world, because nearly you can see everything there. You can see the theaters, the temples, the Cardo Maximus, the Decimanos, the temples over there. Now this is here, Roman style. You can see the bedman in the top and with the Roman decoration. And we have the most famous decoration, the leaves. You see the leaves together like this. This is the acanthus decoration. And you have the egg shape. You see the egg shape at the top? Lower part of the bedman, the egg shape, it's Roman style. That's for fertility or eternity, we call it. And then below the bedman is the main gate or the main arch. You can see the arch, and that was the main entrance. That was for the carriages to go through the main gate. Then you have two passages, one to the right, to the left. That's for pedestrian who's walking. So they can walk to the right, to the left. They will avoid the carriages. And the top of it, there is a small niche. And these niches, they had statues inside them. And also they have some nice decoration at the top. The bedman with beautiful decoration and the pillars. You have the columns or the pillars with Corinthian capital on the top. You see the Corinthian capital on the top. And we have a lower part. We have a beautiful niche, we call, or beautiful capitals. But the capitals usually come on the top. But when it's down, we call it the podium. That's for decoration. Because you have the column like this. The top is called the capital. Down is called the podium for decoration. That's the style to decorate the pillars or the columns. Now this is Jerash. This is Bishop Marianus Church, going back to the 6th century. You can see if you come close to the wall, the remains of the mosaic here. You can see the remains of the mosaic here. And you can see the apse. They're doing restoration here.
You're very quickly in the first 10 yards.
Well, they are, and they're vicious.
Two broken legs, I think.
Well, excellent.
Did he say we're going to see the beginning of it?
No.
Grace?
Just,
The show will be in half an hour. It's a live show. This Swedish guy, he was in charge of making movies about, or specialized making movies about Romans, wars and lives. They brought him here and he trained some retired men of the army, and he trained them to do like shows, Roman soldier show, like the picture I saw the outside. And then there'll be gladiator, real fight. For that you have the sand, so they will not be hurt if they fall down. And there'll be a chariot race. Usually they start at this time, but I think there's a special congressmen, they're coming, so we delayed it like around half an hour. They will charge 12 GD if anybody is interested. Are you interested?
Yeah.
Everybody? You want saying? Who is interested? Who's not interested? Let's see who's not interested. Who is not interested? The rest are all interested?
Yeah.
Okay. I can have a solution. Anyway, we'll continue together here and we'll continue walking there. I will take you to the visitor center. Everybody can hear me? We'll continue to the visitor center. The visitor center, there's some nice pictures about the site.
Bastos!
Ina, porta, te, okudete. Hen, hen,
Skuta! Damiti!
hen.
Hey! Naksat!
If you don't understand the commands, that's perfectly logical. All the commands were given to the Legion in Latin, all the way from Hadrian's Wall to Tanis, all the way out here to Hadrian's Gate in the Provincia Arabia. We will now take a few moments to explain to you what it is a Roman legionnaire would carry with him into battle.
Pina!
You heard the command Pina as in Pina, the infamous Roman throwing javelin made out of wood and steel. As you can see, it has a bullet point which is iron and a shaft made out of tempered steel. Upon impact with the enemy's armor or shield, the Pina would penetrate the enemy, rendering it useless to the enemy, so they could not do it.
Pina! Enteram! Pakiti! Duas!
What you see now is not a dance. The men are showing you how flexible the armor they are is. The legionnaire would wear his lorica segmentata all day and all night in the enemy's territory. He would only take it to office.
Skuta!
Scooter, the Roman shield. You would think a legionnaire would cower and hide behind. But no, he would use it as a weapon. With the silver center point in the middle made out of steel, the legionnaire would punch the air out of his enemy. If that didn't work, he'd hit him with the top edge on the chin, or with the bottom edge on the chin.
Gladius!
Gladius. Any self-respected Roman legionnaire would carry a gladius which was made in Spain. The reason it was Spanish, not Roman, is because the Spaniards had better steel technology than the Romans did. You might be wondering what is use of a small penknife like this. We will show you. As you just saw, the legionnaire would not lose his time with his enemy. There would be no fencing, no fancy footing. The legionnaire would just hit the enemy with the scooter, then stab him with the gladius. In the face, under the arm, in the thigh, anywhere to put the enemy flat. Finish him off. Easy as pie.
Pina! Rukunda! Hey! Pina! Porta! Hey! Sinistro summa! Hey! Rukunda! Hey! San! 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 San!
The standard or vexillum is the most important thing to the Legion. As you can see, it has the name of the Legion, Legion 6, the picture of a bull, and the letter F. The letter F will keep as a secret to later, but the bull means that we were established by Julius Caesar in 52 BC in Gaul.
Scuta! Porta! Hey! Duas orderas paquito! Dua basas! Rukundate! Hey! Pina!
The question now is, will they? Or will they not?
Pina!
But the only people have to worry now are those who use their mobile phones.
Hey! Hey! What's that? Akbar! Yeah! Akbar! Akiti!
Those of you with a classical education should know what this formation is. Those of you without a classical education, well done. You heard the command anti-equus, as in anti-cavalry. Should the Legion come upon enemy cavalry, this is the formation they would make. The reason is any horse in its right mind would think twice before it charges all these colours and shinings. But if the enemy cavalryman could convince his horse to get any closer, this is what would happen.
Pina! Nakaita!
We are sorry for
What's that?